so much for so many people. It doesn't matter if you're a male or a female or whatever you want to assign yourself to. You personally have done so much for other people. When you were younger, before you even got married or before you got into a relationship, you had hopes, you had dreams. But sometimes we have a tendency to push those things to the side because we want to see the happiness, the joy, the peace in other people. And then before you know it, here's kids. And then before you know it, your parents are now, they're acting like kids. And now you feel like you have to be the parent of them. And then all of a sudden your kid is now going to be a parent. So then all of a sudden you become a grandparent. And then you have your job. Then you have all the things that you need to do in the household. So then I have to ask you the question, because I ask myself the question this every time. When are you going to be you? So I was kind of messing around with AI today, and I was just kind of curious if it can bring up a chart. And I just want to kind of show you this chart real quick before we go into our live for today. So this one basically deals with like where many men feel their energy goes. So for a lot of men, majority of energy goes into work and career. Then it goes into financial responsibility as well as family responsibility. Then we're looking at the home and the maintenance that's required in there. Then we talk about the commute and the logistics. But lastly is their personal wellness. But then I started taking a look at women. So big chunk will be your work and your career. Not too far behind is the home responsibilities. Then you have your family and children, the bills and the finances, as well as other people's needs, and then personal wellness. The thing that just kept coming up, and I'm going to try to put it all together, is that personal wellness seems to take a back seat. And then you always will say, hey, you know what, I'm going to wait until the kids are officially out of the house. Or, oh, I'll be able to go into that business, that idea, that dream that I had, when I get a little bit older, until things kind of feel a little bit better, and then I'll take care of it. Guys, we're not getting any younger. That hope, that dream is still, it may be a flicker, maybe a small flicker, but it's still there. So when are you going to take care of yourself? Everyone always talks about self-care. And self-care, yeah, that's more like, let's get our nails done, let's get our hair done, let's go to the barber shop, maybe we'll just go and have a girls' night out. But that's not what you need. That's more additional work that you're putting upon yourself. What you need is self-investment. You need to do something to invest in yourself. All of a sudden, I know for me, when I was married, I found myself losing who Audrey was. Now I'm blank's wife. But what happened to Audrey Codner? What happened to Audrey Barbara Codner that loved playing basketball, that felt like always wanted to be there to support people, that did all these things and had all this creativity within her and just needed opportunity to show it? Same thing is happening with you guys. When is it going to be time for you to take that test? You keep putting it off because you put your kids' needs in front, of course. But now your kids are going into college. Now you are turning into empty nesters. Now you need to value yourself, and you're just like, this is scary. This is really scary, and I'm starting to feel overwhelmed. I'm used to doing things for other people. I'm used to working my butt off as a teacher to make sure my classroom is situated, and everyone craves for the day that they can retire and, just flip up the middle finger and just be like, beep, beep, I'm out, bitch, But then once you get home And after a couple of days, it creeps in. When are you going to start doing for you? When is it that you are going to start internalizing and investing in you? It may be as small as a test, but it's something that you want to do. It's no longer, this is what we need to do. You have to know the you in order for you to have a strong us. So now I'm going to reach in for the you. So in order for us to do this, we need to tackle what's really in the way, which is usually a math test, right? So if you're trying to go back to school to get your GED, your ASVAB, your Accuplacer, so you can score very high in order to get more opportunities, this is the live for you. So my name is Audrey Codner, and I am the owner of Math by Audrey, as well as ACG Math Tutoring. And I was a classroom teacher for 22 years, and I'm just getting on the tail end of completing my 6th year as being an online tutor. And I have seen so many things, and I'm starting to see a lot more of a seasoned 30+ people really going back to the classroom, and you're starting to feel overwhelmed. So what I do on this platform is I break down these concepts step by step, so much that anybody can be able to hack it. It all depends on when you come in. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to do a collection of things. And it's usually the areas that like 87% of people, I can't speak now, usually gets wrong. So one of the things that everyone struggles with is word problems. And the reason why you struggle with word problems is because you don't really understand what is going on. There are certain words for certain phrases with certain operations. So what I'm going to do today is put up a couple of examples, and you're going to write into the comments, what do you think is the example? Okay, what is the expression from verbal to algebraic? All right, so let's start off nice and easy. Okay, convert this verbal expression into an algebraic expression. How would you write that? Okay, you can put it right into the chat. Thanks so much for joining, everyone. I appreciate it. Okay, so we're trying to get into it. Okay, Land of Knave is saying 12 plus x. Okay. Okay, Sean is saying 12 plus c. John saying 12 plus x. Big Al 12 plus x. TEW is saying 12 plus x. I think that's a hurricane. Or a music twister is saying 12 plus x. All right. All right. So, simplified with it, we have a 12 plus a number. Since we don't know that number, we use a variable. So you can use x. I like to use n. Okay? So this is what you're doing. You have your 12 plus a number. That's 12 plus a number. All right? Let's try another one. The product of a number and 10. What would that look like? A product of a number and 10. Go ahead and write in the chat. Okay, don't be afraid. This should be a safe space. Okay. All right, Land of Knave is saying n times 10. Andy is saying 10n. Okay. Notice a slight difference of the two. Is that Sweet Tea? Hi. John saying C times 10. Big Al saying N plus 10. Okay, Bess is saying N10. Okay, my spiral is saying 10x. Sweet Tea is saying hi. Thought you were just going to be able to sneak in, huh? All right. So the key thing is we have to understand, what does the word product mean? Now, product, that means multiplication. So if we're going to multiply a number and 10, we always put the number in front of the variable. Okay, yes, child, and multiply. Okay, always put the number in front of the variable. Now, here's the thing. You do not want to use an x. Now that we're dealing with algebra, there's no more x for multiplication. It's gone. Okay, there's no more x for multiplication. Because if you write it out as 10xn, people are going to think that you're talking about two different variables. And that's how you get an error. So if you're taking a test and they have 10xn and they're not talking about two different variables up in your expression here, in your sentence, then that's going to be wrong. Okay? So when you're doing with multiplication, you're either putting the number next to your variable, or you're putting parentheses around it, or you're putting a dot in between. But majority of the time, it's just going to be nice and sandwiched together. All right? Okay. So let's up the ante. 5 more than a number squared. Okay, 5 more than a number squared. How would you write that as an algebraic expression? Okay. 5 more than a number squared. Okay, so we have 5x squared from big L. We got our spiral with 5 is greater than a squared. We have Andy has n squared plus 5. Okay, hello Michael. Were your ears burning? Lynette and I were just talking about you. We haven't seen you in a minute. RSM is saying x squared plus 5 equals y. Now be careful, RSM, because is there an equals going on in here? Is there an equal sign that's going on there? Because you never want to give too much. Just give what they ask for. That's the one thing. There you go. Thank you. There you go. All right. Okay, Samuel, I see you with the x squared plus 5. There you go. Now, this is the thing, and I am so grateful. I think it was my spiral. Okay. I'm so grateful that you did that. Now, let's break this down. We have 5 more than. More than means addition. Okay. Is more than is the inequality. Okay, so there's a difference between more than and is more than. Is more than, that's when you're dealing with greater than sign. Just more than, it's going to be addition. Now 5 is going to be more than all this stuff. So that means 5 is going to be the one that's going to carry that plus sign. So the 5 is not going to go in front. The 5 is actually going to go behind. So more than a number, which we don't know what the number is, which we can say n, or x, or any letter except for I and E, squared. Notice just the number is being squared, not the whole expression. Just that number. There you go, China. Okay? There you go. I see you, Michael. Thank you. All right. And I see you now, Big Al. Good. All right. So when you see more than, that's addition. Okay. Same thing with less than. Less than will be subtraction. If it said is less than, that's when it's an inequality. Okay. All right. So now, well, it can't be plus or minus root 5i because it's not an equation. Okay? It's not an equation. It doesn't say is, doesn't say equal, is equivalent to. It just says the beginning part. So we can't do any kind of solving. Okay? Babushka, got that? All right. So now, how about this one? The sum of twice a number and 8. The sum of twice a number and 8. Okay, so I have RM with 2x plus 8, Rice with 2n plus 8, Samuel 2x plus 8, Skeet with 2x plus 8, Big Al 2x plus 8, Michael 2x plus 8, John 2x plus 8, Andy 2n plus 8. Okay, excellent. So the sum of, okay, that's telling me I'm adding two things. So the sum of twice a number, so since we don't know the number, we use the variable. So twice means it's being multiplied by 2. And 8. So that means we're taking twice a number, adding 8 to it. That's how we got this. Okay? So regardless if you're using x or n or p or n, whatever you want to use for the variable, the only variables that we cannot use is e and I because they're actually numbers. Let's try another one. Okay. 8 less than 3 times a number. What do we have? Go ahead and put that into the chat. Okay, so we got Skeet squared with 3x minus 8, Rice with 3n minus 8, Diesel with 3x minus 8, RSM is 3x minus 8, Andy 3n minus 8. Thank you so much for the follow. Mary B was saying 3x minus 8, John with 3x minus 8. There we go. Yeah, that was the nickname of one of my favorite students. Yeah, talked about him last night, so we're not going to cry tonight. All right, so like we said, less than, that's subtraction. So 8 is 8 less than. So that means the 8 is going to be the one that's going to carry the negative, the minus. 3 times a number. Okay, so less than means subtraction. Is less than means inequalities. Okay, excellent. All right, let's try a couple more. Let's try one more, and then we'll switch up the script. See if we do a little bit of solving. Okay, let's try this one. There you go, China, I see you. Okay, the quotient of a number and 4 less than 7. Ooh, what do we get with this one? Oh, thank you, TEW. Okay, the quotient of a number and 4 less than 7. Okay, so Skeet Square is thinking negative x over 3. Okay, John is saying divided by 4 minus 7. Mary B is saying 4 minus 7 equals x. Well, remember, Mary B, we don't have any equals in here. So it's not going to be equation. Okay. All right, Skeet Square is saying x over 3, no problem. Okay, and divided by 3. Okay, go ahead and we'll just make changes. This is how we learn. Okay, and make sure we get the whole expression. So the quotient of a number and 4 less than 7. Alright, so I got a whole number of 12. I got x divided by n minus 4 or x divided by 3. Okay, wouldn't it be x over 7 minus 4? Okay, Kenny's saying x minus x over 4. Rice is saying x over 7 minus 4. Or she's putting parentheses around things. Okay. Okay, this is why I do these things. You keep typing wrong, okay? Oh, it's alright, Rice. Okay, 7 isn't in the equation, guys. Less than 7. Less than 7. So the quotient of a number and 4, less than 7. Okay, Psalms 25. Oh, I love that. N divided by 4 minus 7. It isn't in the words up there. Okay. We're not seeing the 7 right here. The quotient of a number and 4 less than 7. Okay, n over 4 minus 7. Okay. Alright, so let's take a look. First thing, we have two operations going on at the same time. Okay, we have two operations going on. The first operation deals with quotient. Quotient means division. Okay, what are we dividing? So it says the quotient of a number and 4. So that's the first bit. So if I may, I'm going to cover this up. So we have the quotient of a number and 4. We don't know what the number is, so we can use whatever variable. And quotient means division. So quotient of a number and 4. So there's my fraction of n over 4. And the second part is what's here, less than 7. So that means if we're doing less than, it's going to be subtraction. So that means this is going to be less than 7. So that means we have our 7 minus that fraction. Okay? So anytime you got the less than, usually what's happening before they say less than or more than, you always have to switch. So what's going to carry the minus sign? It's going to be the quotient of a number and 4, which is this. And that's going to be what's taking the negative or the minus. And then 7. Okay, so if you want to, you can put parentheses around the fraction. You can do that. Okay, as long as you know that less than is not an inequality. So a lot of you guys didn't say that. Good job. Okay, looking for, okay, so we got what we got now. Yeah, anytime you see less than or more than doesn't hurt as much, because if I do 4 plus 5 and if I do 5 plus 4, I'm just going to get the same answer of 9 either way, right? But if I do 4 minus 5 and if I do 5 minus 4, I'm definitely not going to get the same answer. Okay? So it doesn't hurt you as much as the more than, but the less than you definitely need to pay more attention to. Okay? All right? Doesn't need to have a comma. Nope, doesn't need to have a comma. Okay, and I can tell you on the test, it's not going to have a comma. So this is why I do these things. Okay? All right. So now, let's try one more. Actually, let me flip this paper over. Whoops. Let's try one more for the verbiage. Okay. So we got the quantity of 2 times a number increased by 5 squared. Okay. The quantity of 2 times a number increased by 5 squared. Okay. King, I see your 2n plus 5 squared. Skeet squared, I see 2x plus 25. Oh, because you're doing with the 5 squared? Okay. Alright. The quantity of 2 times a number increased by 5 squared. And if you're not sure, go ahead and put a question mark in the comments. If you're not too sure, and that's fine because I'm going to explain it anyway. So I'm not going to leave you in the lurch. Okay? So the quantity of 2 times a number increased by 5 squared. Okay, so we have 2n plus 5 squared, 2x plus 5 squared. Okay, so now this is what's happening. So we have the word quantity. Actually, I flipped it over too soon. So then we have the word quantity. Quantity means addition. You see how certain words have certain operations? Okay, now we're not doing any kind of flipping around. More than, less than, yes, we have to flip them. But when we have the quantity of 2 times a number, so that's 2n, increased by 5 squared. So that means we are squaring our 5. Okay, and that's what a lot of you guys wrote. Yes. Now, here's the trick. Ready? Since they're saying the quantity, that means we're embracing. We're not only squaring the 5, we're squaring the 2 times a number as well. Anytime they say the word quantity, yes, it's going to be addition, but we are joining it together. Okay? So 2 times a number increased by 5. Since it is a quantity, we're putting parentheses around the 2 times the number plus the 5, but we're squaring the whole thing. Anytime they use the word quantity, there is going to be parentheses involved. Okay? That's the kicker. So you're not just squaring the 5, you're squaring what you get inside of this parenthesis. You're squaring the 2n as well as the 5. Okay? I know, the English language is already cray-cray as is, but this is what they do, especially for the math problems. In your opinion, trust me, Haley girl, they would, but guess what? On the test, they're not. They're not going to. Because they said, well, everyone should know what quantity means. That means you're including everything. Yep. So we learned something. There it is, Andy. Learn something new. All right. So with all of these, and the reason why I did these is because a lot of you guys said that you struggle with word problems. So what I did was I created a book that has a whole bunch of these cards. Okay, lots of these flashcards. So not only the ones that I just did, I also have these, thicker than a Snicker, that has problems as well as answers. And you can just do a matching. And of course, I give you an answer key to this matching. Now, if you would love to have these, all you have to do is just message me math. Just DM me the word math. Okay? Not really here on the last, but just DM me the word math, because all you really have to do, and if you're just like, you know what, I want it now, I don't want to get it later, okay, I'm not going to hold you back. So if you go to my profile, and if you notice, right here at the bottom where it says Stan Store, just click on that. Click on that link. And it'll take you directly to my Stan Store, where I have all of the resources. I give you a nice little tour of the Stan Store, a little 3-minute video. And then here's one thing. You can get, this free skills check. Okay, if you just click here, all you have to do is just put like your information. It gives you what it is, so you're not dedicating to anything, and it's free. Okay, so if you're not sure where exactly you go, then you just have to enter in your name and your email. But this will give you all the information of what exactly it is. Okay, all right, so if you want to get the flashcards, I have like all my books here. Just take a look down here. It's usually like kind of close to the end. Here it is where it says verbal and algebraic matching. Okay, that's the price, and this is what you're basically dealing with. Okay, so if that's what you want to do, that's where you can go. All right, okay, so now we're going to go and we're going to go back and we're going to do a little more with calculations. Okay, so we worked a little bit with the word problems. Now let's work with calculations. Simplify this. In order for it to be a pyramid screen, you gotten? Oh, that's nice. In order for me to have a pyramid, that means there has to be people underneath me, and I'm it. So it can't be a pyramid scheme, but that's cute. All right. So Skeet Square is saying 50. Okay. All right. King is saying 50. John's coming up with 3. Okay, Crystal Lynn is saying 50. Now, if you get to the point that you're not sure where to start, you can also use a question mark, because I am going to explain this step by step. So don't worry. And hopefully we still have internet, because it looks like it's about to storm. What was the answer to the last one? It was, the last one was this one. 2n plus 5 squared. Elena. Okay. Yes. So 14 minus 3 squared. Okay. Alright, so we got 50. We got Kelly with 50. Little Lou, how are you? You're so welcome. Alright, so let's take this step by step. Alright? So, anytime I notice there's no equal sign, okay? Yes, there's an X for multiplication. I know, I cringe. But we are going to be doing, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. From left to right. I'm going to keep emphasizing that, okay? From left to right. So, right away, we don't have any parentheses, so we're good with that. But we do have an exponent. So that's my 3 squared and the 1 to the 7th power. 1 raised to any power is going to give me 1. So if I'm looking at this, we got our 14 minus our 3 squared, which is 9, over 1. So we took care of the exponents. Now from left to right, we're going to do either multiplication or division. Okay? It's not necessarily, oh, go ahead and do the multiplication because that comes first. No, from left to right. So right here, from left to right, we got our 14 minus 9, okay, divided by 1. Well, since it's a fraction, we got to take care of that numerator, right? So with your 14 minus 9, that gives us 5. And that means we have our 5 over 1. So 5 over 1, anything over 1 is itself. So that's where that 5 is going to come from. So now from left to right, now we got this multiplication to handle, which 9 times 5 gives me 45. And 5 plus 5, because now we took care of the m and the d, now we got adding or subtracting, which we only got adding. So that gives you the answer of 50. All right, gives you the 50. Okay, there you go, Jazzy J. I see you. Brenda, I see you. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, got time for a couple more. So let me get rid of this, and let me put up this. All right. Well, Haunted, you are doing very well at math. You're doing very well. I love when people say they're not the best at something. Okay? Math does always come together. See, that's the one thing about math. It's never a one and done type situation. So we're going to evaluate. Okay? We're going to evaluate. So what does that mean? We're going to evaluate. Okay, so we got Skeet Square, Romano, thank you. Patel, okay, Sakura, Chula, saying 10, others are saying 6. Okay, take your time with it, guys. Take your time with it. Make sure we're substituting for the right numbers or right variables. Okay, Dave, I see you with your 16. Okay, is the top equal to 0? Okay. Let's see, Rice. Okay, Tyrone saying 16. Real saying 16. Chula. Okay, Crystal saying 16. Crystalline. Okay, Kim's telling me 9. Okay, Rice, you see it now? Okay. Alright. Let's take a gander. Let's take a little look. So all we're doing is when you're evaluating, something's going in. Okay, John, I see you with the 16. Cove, I see you with the 2. So they're telling me every time I see an X, I'm plugging a 4 in. Every time I see a Y, I'm plugging a negative 2 in. So let's plug in. So it's going to look like this. We have 4, parenthesis, then we have our other 4. Let me change colors so it'll be easy for everyone to see. Okay, minus 2 times the Y value, which is a negative 2. Okay, all over our 4 plus our negative 2. Okay, hitting up with the please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Starling, I see you. Thank you. Fancy saying my 8. Okay, Kim saying no, it's 6. All right, let's take a look. So inside our parenthesis, we have 4 minus 2 times negative 2. This minus acts as a negative for this 2. So basically, if I may use my highlighter somewhere around here we go. This negative 2 times negative 2 A negative times a negative will give me a positive 4. Okay, so since this is a positive 4, inside this parenthesis we have 4 plus 4. So if I can rewrite, it's going to say 4 times 4 plus 4, which gives me 8. And now it's over my 4 plus negative 2. Okay. Alright. So now let's look. We have 4 times 8. 4 times 8 gives me 32. Now 4 plus a negative 2. So if I had $4 and I spent 2, you see it, Kim? And I spent 2, that means I still have $2 left. Okay? So now we have 32 divided by 2, because that's what a fraction is. A fraction is nothing but division. So you can think of 32 divided by 2, or just say, what's half of 32? Because that's what this is saying. That will give me an answer of a positive 16. Okay? How are we feeling? Okay, thumbs up, thumbs down, or meh. You know, sometimes we just don't know how to describe it. Okay, feels good, good, great, awesome. Okay, all right. How are we all feeling? Was a bit confused, but you got it. There we go, China. Good. Dave, good. All right. So when you see these evaluation pieces, remember, good. All right. Is that Medina? Is that how you pronounce it? Haunted. There you go. Good. It's good to see you have thumbs up. I like that. When you're doing evaluation, all you're doing is substituting for what they want you to substitute for. And then you're doing your please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or if you're my international people, your BODMAS, BODMAS, right? Okay. Let's try one more, and then we're going to wrap up for today. Yeah, I don't like to give too much. So let me raise this up a bit. You were factoring? Okay. I know, it's like when you're in that zone, it's hard for you to come out of it. Try to simplify this one. Yeah, some people do BOD, some people do BED. I know, love. It's the love of mathematics. It's always based on how someone perceives it, but no matter what, 2 plus 2, 2 times 2, and 2 squared, all equals 4. 3 different ways, but we got the thing. Alright, so I saw some 37s. Rice, I see a 31. Kim, 37. Not a problem, love. Alex, 37. Okay, good. That's it, John. Keep working at it. Okay, spiritual, I see you with the 37. Okay, giggles, I see you with 1. Prim, sickly with 37. Fancy with 37. Mags with 4. My Faith, 37. Mary, 37. Oh, hello, my Faith. How are you? Okay. Dave, it's actually 31. Okay. Okay, Greg with Mr. Clean is saying 2. Yep, Alex, PEMDAS, yes. Okay, we got 37. Wood Jerry, yes. Okay, why did I get 2? I don't know. Well, I'm going to go over it. So, okay, I got Sam, my 37, my Haunted. Okay, Hattrick, I see you with 37. Leslie. Okay, so we got 2 people with 2. All right. Okay. And I got Giggles with 8. Got Tyrone with the 49 minus 12. You got 61. I might have done something wrong. China, okay. See, this is why I do these things. Okay, I do these things not just for, shits and giggles, but I do it because we had like 3, possibly 4 different answers. So let's take a look at it. All right, so we definitely want to go with please excuse my dear Aunt Sally from left to right. Okay, let me raise this up just a hair. So, inside the parentheses, that's what we should be tackling first. Okay, so that means over here, I'm going to write my 7 squared plus 3 minus, and what's inside this parenthesis is 5 plus 10. That gives me 15. Okay, we're good so far. So then, our exponent. What's raised to an exponent is that 7. So 7 squared, that's 49. So that means we have 49 plus 3 minus our 15. Are we good so far? Now, okay, so here we are. Multiplication or division from left to right. We have neither of that. Okay, boom, don't worry about that. Now we should be looking at addition or subtraction from left to right. So that means we're going to be combining the 49 and the 3. Okay, we're going to be combining. There's no multiplication here. Okay, there's no multiplication and there's no division. All right, so that will give us our 52. Okay, bring down the minus 15. So now what's left is our 52 minus the 15, and that will give us our 37. Okay, for those that were saying 4, I know what you did. You multiplied the 3 and the negative 15. You multiplied 15. You multiply. That means lightning must have struck somewhere around here. Okay? All right. So, since this is about to pause, yeah, it paused, didn't it? Yeah. So, lightning must have struck somewhere around here. Okay. So, I'm going to wrap up, but this is what happens. This is anything from anyone that's doing pre-algebra all the way up to, adult education. Okay? So what I do is I have these cards. I also have a lot of instructional things. Okay? So that's why I did algebra at your pace. So if you're looking for a system, not just a regular workbook that's just going to give you a whole thing, a whole system, that what happens, I have video recordings that breaks down all of these concepts, and then plus you're going to be given some extra practice problems. Okay, so looking at the extra practice problems, and at the end, see the QR code? At the end, you're given a quiz. Now, the only additional things that I have resources to help you remember some of the things, and that's usually in the back of the book. Okay? It probably was, but remember, when we were teenagers, we had a lot to think about. How we're going to be popular, if we're wearing the right outfits, who likes who doesn't like who, what is this person talking about. There were so many things going on when we were kids. Okay? So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about these books and also the flashcards, make sure, 1, follow me here. All right? Let me see if I can talk to you like a regular human being. Let me hide. Oh, can't do that. But can I do this? There we go. So if you are in need of anything to help break down with the GED, the ASVAB, the Accuplacer, anything that has to deal with algebra and you need a refresher, I basically have a lot of books, which is videos of me teaching and breaking down concepts step by step, as well as giving you a lot of the support that you need. So if you want to know how to get the books, you can do one of two things. One, you can go to my picture in my profile and message me the word math, or you can actually go to my profile. Let me show this. Boop. If you go to my profile, not that, and if you see this link where it says Stan Store, if you click on the Stan Store link, you will view all of my books. Okay, there's a mini tour, plus you can get a free skills, skill check, just to see if you guys are doing what you need to do. Okay, so if anything, oops, you can do that, and plus I have all of my other books listed, and also some systems. So it's a whole series. So either you can go to the link, or you can send me a direct message, math, and tell me what test you're taking. Okay? Tell me which test you're going after. If you're going after the ASVAB, I do have, let's see if we can look. There we go. If you are going after the ASVAB, I do have a practice test that will help you with the arithmetic reasoning, as well as some algebraic questions. But if you need to understand the concepts before you can do the practice test, I have all of my Algebra at your pace volumes all ready for you. Okay? And then all the resources are at the bottom. But if you want to talk to me about tutoring, you can do that as well. Okay, so if you're interested in tutoring, all at the bottom, go ahead and schedule a call so I can see if tutoring is probably the best option for you. Okay, I'd rather you ask questions before you buy. Okay, oh, thank you, user24. Thank you so much. Okay, I'd rather you ask questions before you purchase anything. So please DM me, follow me. Okay, don't just DM me and say hi. Tell me the word math, because that will tell me that you're really interested, as well as tell me what class or what test you're trying to take. Is it the GED, the ASVAB, the Accuplacer? Maybe it's teacher prep. I've been starting to do some of that as well. Okay? All right. Yup. All right. Hey, Math Tutor, how are you? Math book? Yes. I have a whole series of math books. So if anything, go ahead and just DM me the word math. Give me a moment, give me about an hour, because I have to go and tutor. I know, never stops. But if anything, I will definitely message you tonight just to get a little more information. I'd rather you do that before you purchase anything. But if you're just like, yes, this is exactly what I need the practice, then you can go ahead and just click the link in my profile and just go ahead. All right? So you were taking the GED, but it shut down soon. Yes. See, here's my thing, Haunted. I know when it comes to the GED, it is that timing. It is that timing. You may think it shut off early, but it probably shut off right on time. So there's going to be a process and a practice that you have to put in mind that you're going to have to take it. Okay. So you're basically given like a minute and 10 seconds per question. That's all you're given. So it's kind of like learning the concepts so you can do that rather quickly. Okay, do I have anything on geometry? Not now, not yet. Okay, you were doing good too, right? And that's what happens, because a lot of us like, oh, I'm just taking my time and taking this test, but you got a minute and 10 seconds. Here's my suggestion, and if you're taking the ASVAB, you have 1 minute per question, all right? Accuplacer, you have a little bit more. They give you like roughly like 3 hours to complete the math portion and a couple other portions as well. But I would take your phone or whatever that has a timer and just click and see what 1 minute and 10 seconds seem like. So now you actually know what it feels like, how quickly you have to get through it. It doesn't have to be like 5 seconds. You have time, okay? But you have to understand what you're seeing, so you can identify and also possibly do what's called process of elimination. All right? Okay, so Prince, make sure you reach out. Okay, make sure if you need help, if you're just like, hey Audrey, I want to talk to you because I really need help, DM me the word math. Do that right now. Okay, do that right now because I'm going to close this up in like 10 seconds. All right, so make sure you follow me, make sure you DM me the word math, and I'm going to get back to you tonight, probably in the next hour and 10 minutes, okay, because I do have a client. And then I'm going to talk to you about what exactly you need and try to figure out what would be the best thing for you. Because I do want you to win, guys. I want you to start investing in yourself. You're not being selfish. Don't let anyone tell you that. Okay? All right, everyone. Have a lovely evening. And if anything, I'll see you guys tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to do probably either some more cards or maybe do a couple word problems here and there.